Welcome to Meet the Candidate with your host, Sulani Madsen. Meet the Candidate is your opportunity to see local candidates and hear about the experiences that have shaped their lives. Meet the Candidate is a nonpartisan community project brought to you by your friends at the Ponderosa Republican Women's Club, North by Northwest Digital, We Believe, We Vote, and the McGarry Law Office, the landlord's attorney. Now, here's Sulani.
Well, welcome to this edition of Meet the Candidate, and my guest is Susan Swanson, who is running in the 7th Legislative District special election. Welcome, Susan.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Happy to be here.
I'm glad you could come. It's such a large district. We tried to make extra times available for the candidates in the 7th.
Thank you. Well, it's 11,000 square miles.
Yes, it is.
It's the largest in the state.
It is, just barely larger than the 9th. But so I'm starting off all of my interviews by just asking people to tell me about where you were born and raised.
Oh, geez. So
if you moved around, it makes a longer story.
Well, I have moved around quite a bit. So I was born in Mississippi, and I was raised in South Texas. And then I joined the Navy.
Mm-hmm.
And from that point forward, my life has been living around the world.
What was your MOS, your job in the Navy?
Well, in the Navy, I was a personnelman, and that translates into a PN3, third class. And really didn't live around the world in that particular job. It was later in life with following my husband, who was a career Navy individual also, military veteran. So
what was your most interesting posting? Or most challenging?
Well, the first, I would have to say Italy, because I went kicking and screaming, literally. We had just bought a wonderful home in Virginia, and I had my job and friends and clubs and organizations, and he decided he was not going to go on another ship and do sea duty, which is pretty strenuous on a family.
It is, but it let you stay rooted at home port, yeah.
So his first overseas assignment then was Naples, Italy. And my concept of Naples, Italy, or Italy in general, was horse and buggy carts with wheat and all that stuff on it.
Yeah.
So to my dismay, when we're on the autostrada coming from the Rome airport into Naples, it was an eye-opening experience. And when we checked into the hotel, it was July, and I told the porter who brought our bags to the room, Buon Natale for Buonanotte. Mm-hmm. Buonanotte is good night. Buon Natale is Merry Christmas. So I got my lesson in Italian then and there. And
well, good for the bellman.
Yeah, I started learning Italian, so that's my other language now.
Well, that's great that you at least gave it a shot as a way of starting to try and adjust.
Right, and I've been told by the Italians that my vocabulary and nouns are really good. My accent's great, but I'm like at an eight-year-old level. But I don't know many 8-year-olds that can't talk a leg off a table, and I can do that too.
So as you were moving around and had other postings, when your husband got out of the service, how did you decide where to live? Well,
we went to Virginia, and after Virginia, I became the military sponsor, not through civil service. I was a civil servant, and we received orders to Germany next, and my family followed me, and I was a transportation management specialist. So then after that, we went to Guam, and I'd like to give a shout out to all my friends in Guam. I hope
grandson was born in Guam.
Safe and sound, yeah. And after Guam, it was to Japan, back to Guam, back to Japan, to Puerto Rico. Another shout out to a lot more friends there and hope that they're safe and sound.
Mm-hmm.
And after Puerto Rico, we retired from federal civil service and we moved to Yakima. And that's how I came to the Pacific Northwest. I felt kinship and said, this is where home is. And
okay, so you moved into I'm sorry, Susan, I didn't ask where you were living within the 7th District. It's so large, I forgot to check.
It's okay. We live in Omak.
Okay.
It's not the populous center, but it's the best center, I say, because it has so many wonderful people living there. Mm-hmm. We have a great community that is very conscientious of serving the community. And we partake in different organizations. Pioneer Women's Club is one, the Rotary is another, Chamber of Commerce my husband works with, and the Community Action Group there also. So
okay,
we're pretty connected there.
Okay, so you connected and put down roots in Omak. Now, lots of people do that. They find some place that feels like home and settle in, but not everybody decides that they're going to run for the state legislature. So what led you to be interested in politics?
Well, you know, all these years we've worked in the federal government. You can't participate.
Right,
and
that's true.
So the Hatch Act prevents your participation. And so we would go to my husband's grandfather's farm in Ohio every summer and spend some time there. And it always seemed to coincide with the DNC. And I'd see that and I'd go, one of these days I want to be there. And that's on my bucket list to accomplish that. Mm-hmm. But also I got fired up to where when we retired, I wanted to participate. Mm-hmm. And so that was one of the first things I did when we moved to Yakima, was started participating and became a PCO and then a state committee woman. And then I was in line to be their chair, but my husband got his position in Omak, and we moved to Omak. And then I carried through and kept going again and became state committee woman, and then recently chair. And I gave up the chair to do this.
Okay. You saw with you got to watch somebody else to have an interview first, but that last question is always the make your pitch, your 1 minute pitch to why should people vote for Susan Swanson for the 7th Legislative District State Representative.
And so I look straight into
You can look
this
straight
camera.
into the camera and make that pitch.
Thank you. Well, I would like to ask for your vote because I'm a voice of reason and someone that cares deeply about the 7th Legislative District and all of its communities. I feel that I will be the person that can reach across the aisle to work with the West Side Democrats in order to let them know what Eastern Washington needs by saying, no, that doesn't work for us over here. We need a good voice that's not in opposition to them. And I think that's the most compelling reason to vote for me, and that I'm not an extremist, and that I'm a great listener. So I hope everyone will vote for me.
Okay. Thank you, Susan. I'm so glad you could join us here.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Thanks for watching Meet the Candidate. Spokane Talks Online thanks our community-minded partners at Ponderosa Republican Women's Club, North by Northwest Digital, We Believe, We Vote, and the McGarry Law Office, the landlord's attorney, for helping make Meet the Candidate possible.